Welcome to all the guests. What's your name?
Brazil.
From?
I live here.
You live here, Shalom Aleichem. And your name?
Eliel Tushinsky.
Tul, with a L. Alamed. From Banin, where are you from?
Gimel.
Wow, okay. Shalom Aleichem. Who else? We have a bunch of Imre boys here. If you're from Imre, raise your hand. Yeah. Levi, you want to get called out? Levi Allswing is my nephew. Oh, your Safta. We got to call it your Safta. Right now? Safta Allswing, okay. What, she does the daf?
Every day.
Oy vavoy. You shouldn't have said it. Okay, listen, we're not going to, it's not bad. Who else? Who's a guest there? You're not such a guest. Yeah, what's your name? Shalom Aleichem.
David Eri.
From
Gimel.
Also from Gimel. Wow. So hardly anybody from Aleph. Yavaldik. Great. Shalom Aleichem. Somebody took your seat. You're new. You in the back? Not you sitting. What's your name?
Gershon Katz.
From?
Lakewood.
You learning here now?
The mirror.
Okay, cool. Yeah, embarrassing. Geschmack. Zoom in on his face. Father Rav, I want to personally thank you and share something with you. I'm 38 years old. I was raised in Brooklyn in a frum home and attended yeshivas all my life. I went off the derech at age 14. I had no real connection to Yiddishkeit since then. I'm currently incarcerated in a federal prison in Virginia, and without saying too much, I have access to a cell phone in my cell. A few weeks ago, I came across the Daf Yomi shir and was instantly drawn to it. I had already been trying to strengthen my emunah in Hashem by learning basic things like Chumash and Navi, and reading books on emunah, for example, found by Rabbi Victor Miller. I never would have thought that I would be ready for Gemara, but since starting Avodah Zarah, I've been joining on Zoom daily, and the following day I review with my father. Yeshua has brought me closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and strengthening my emunah and has brought Torah into my heart. Your staff sent me an amazing, beautiful Gemara, and I'll use it and cherish it dearly. Prison is a very hard environment, and Torah is my only escape. Thanks to you, I found my escape, and the zchus of our learning Hashem and the wars in Israel and bring Mashiach now. A from federal prisoner. Yosef, okay, clap if you want. Chvoid Reb Eli, I want to show you that my children also love the daf. Here goes. Baruch Hashem, there are now multiple locations around the world that show Yishurim not live. Maybe it can be done at MDY headquarters every day, 2 p.m. Hebrew shir replay followed by English shir, something like that. When it's done ahead, it will follow. Oh, when it's done in the mothership, other people will follow. Anybody have any interest to watch the shir in the middle of the day? I didn't think so. A few months ago, I sponsored a shir of Refuah Sheleimah from a chavrus and fellow MDYer, Shalom Dov Ben Esther Shana, who donated part of his liver. You hear this? He donated part of his liver to a young child in need. Now it takes a long time to recuperate. It takes a month and a half just to recoup. Baruch Hashem, after a challenging recovery, I'm delighted to share that both the donor and the recipient are doing much better. This past Shabbos, Shalom had the zchus of spending Shabbos with the recipient, Hadar Bas Rina, at her home. I've attached a photo of them sitting together on Sunday morning watching the shir. I'm truly inspired by Shalom's dedication, despite undergoing a difficult medical procedure. He has not missed a single day of learning the daf. His commitment motivates me to stay consistent with my own learning, no matter how demanding my daily life becomes. Forever, your Talmud, Eli Gela, Lakewood, New Jersey. Here's a picture of Boisai, the recipient and the donor, watching the shir. Oh, I love this one. Yoli Doppel. This is always a classic when you get one from Yoli. I want to publicly explain how I was instrumental in helping the ceasefire between Iran and Israel. That Baruch Hashem allowed things to go back to normal throughout the country and allowed MDY to come back to its regular share. In the middle of that day, when Iran sent missiles to the U.S. Army base in Qatar, I did something risky and out of character for me. I bought crude oil futures contracts. I thought, now that the war is escalating, at least let me, a Jew, make a few $1,000s in a few hours. Crude oil futures with $100 multipliers are very volatile. And with every penny it moves in either direction, it translates to big gains or big losses. You have to lock up a large sum in collateral to trade. The plan was simple. Get in, watch the charts, and after a few hours, when the contracts are up a few dollars, get out with a few $1,000 profits. Basic strategy that has never failed when war escalates in the Middle East. As a cautious investor, I never did it before, but this one was a no-brainer. Just like when I carry an umbrella, I cause it to not rain. In Shemayim, there was a tumult about this. Apparently, the Malachim Mimuna on war were contacted by the Malach that's Mimuna on my investment portfolio. And somehow they were convinced that there's no way we can let Yoeli Doppel profit off this Tsar and Klal Yisrael. The outcome, as we all know, is history. Trump tweeted his ceasefire post and oil plummeted. Chevra, please don't all thank me at once, as my phone will overheat. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't hesitate to sacrifice a few $1,000s for my beloved family, Klal Yisrael. Yoeli Alevi Doppelt. The Masechet is sponsored by David Salamon, dedicated in memory of Reb Shmuel, Boruch, ben Reb Chaim, Tzvi, Dov, Zechron Niftar, Zayin, Iyar. That's the Masechta. Anonymous. This is the person who donated $9,000 in the schus to see a live kill, and 5 minutes later, a live kill. Hatzlacha Baruch ובגשמיות ולזכות אחינו בני ישראל. Anonymous. May our learning be a shield of protection and a source of unity and blessing for Am Yisrael. Joel Gedalius, Eli Stefansky, my father, Jack Gedalius. Monthly sponsors. TCS Israel Power by TALKNSAVE, Yoni Klestzick, Refuah Sheleimah, Miriam, Aster, Passparel, Pradel, Peso. Weekly sponsors Anonymous, Lekovet, Binyomin Dessau, keep steiging. Daily sponsor, the kids of Kinnovations LC. Thank you to Adar Global, and he who must not be named. Because you did one for them in the turning the daf.
No, I can guess who it is.
Coil sponsors monthly, Moshe Miriam Landy. Thank you Hashem for all the bracha and simcha. MDY Kids Monthly, Kinnovations Chus for official Chana Kiva, Rivki Mrs. Stefansky, Am Yisrael for learning 4 Masechtas with Rebelli. Art of the Month, for Shleima. What is that? Oh, Chus for official Chana, I got it. Art of the Month, Refuah Sheleimah for Yonatan Eitam Ben Basheva Bracha. For Chus for Rebelli and the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah and joy for so many. In honor of Yossi Klein and Mark Ashkenazi for all the work they do. Rabbi Isai, we have an amazing daf today. About 10 lines from the bottom of Daf Yud Amud Aleph starts all the stories, and that is going to lead us into tomorrow as well, stories and Agadata. And we have a little bit of a sugya, much, much easier stuff now. But wait for those stories. Classics. Okay, says the Gemara, the last words in Daf Amud Beis. Shtara, Shulam Aleichem. Star, you want to sit down and you just want to watch. You could come, sit down. If there's one seat over here, there's one over here, one over here, there's 2 seats over here. Come in. Come to the right. Oh yeah, we're over there. No, we got to the bottom. English we did, Hebrew we did. Yeah. Ahu Shtara, Davik Sivbe Shishnin Yatirto. The guy wrote in the star, let's say it was year 500, says Rashi. He wrote inside the star that he lent money on year 506. He was off by 6 years, let's say. So for this, we got to see this chart. Something called a shtar me'ucher. Okay, we're not going to talk about it a lot. 1 minute in, 1 minute out. What's a shtar me'ucher? Shtar me'ucher means that the date on the star is the wrong date. You wrote a future date. Like a future contract. Very good. But it's a future star. Now, what's the problem? When you write a star, you write a document that somebody owes you money, what you're saying is that your real estate has a lien for that guy. There's a lien on the real estate, like a mortgage. So if you have a house, and you borrow $10,000, the house goes to that guy if you don't pay. I talk about it a lot. If people borrow money, bizman hazeh, and they say, oh, I can't pay, I don't have the money, so sell your house. Halachically, you have to sell your house. If you owe money, and the time has come to pay, and you can't, instead of pushing the guy off, sell your house. How is it going to work out with your wife? That's a different problem. But that's the halacha. Okay, so the real estate is mishubad to the malva. So let's say you lent money on the 1st of Nisan, but the shtar is a lie. The shtar says that's in the future. It's a month away, Aleph Iyar. What happens if it had the right date and you sold your real estate after the loan? Doesn't matter. You could sell whatever you want. The real estate is meshubah, there's a lien on it, so the malva, the lender, could go after the real estate even if you sold it. What happened over here? He sold his real estate. Does it matter? Now, because it has the wrong date, you could sell your real estate. It's the wrong date. If it had the right date, you can't sell your real estate. And if you did sell the real estate, when the time comes to pay, the malva cannot take the real estate away from the buyer. He has to return it to the buyer. You saw that one move right here. The malva, the lender, comes and takes the property away, takes the apartment away, the house away. And the guy says, stop. The date is wrong. The date says here. Okay. Now we're done with that. So Rabbanan thought to say, Hai shtar mochar. Why does it say 506? It should say 500. We have to wait 6 years for the lender to take any real estate. No. So now let me remind you what we had yesterday. If this is your first time in the daf, don't worry. The stories are coming up soon. We just have to finish up the sugya. If you remember, we said that from the Greek era, it was 180 years, plus 103 years, plus 103 years. For a total of how many? 386. The problem is that we're talking the whole time, the whole sugya says 380. From the Greeks till the Churban Abayis is 380, not 386. So what happened to the 6 years? So we said 6 years don't count. The first 6 years, the Greeks, they captured one place called Elam, and it's only one place. They only ruled the world for 380, not for 386, because the first 6 years are Elam. Great. So says Rav Nachman, this guy writing a document, he included the 6 years. It's not that he wrote a false date on it. What happened was he included the 6 years of Elam. That's why he wrote 506 and not 500. He decided to count them. And it's a good shtar. So if the malva, if the loiva, the borrower sells his real estate, the malva could go after it because it's a good shtar. It's not a false date. That's what we said before. 6 years the Greeks ruled in Elam. And then only afterwards they ruled the whole world for 380 until the Churban. Says Gemara, who told you the 6 years you had to play with? Maybe he wasn't even counting Greek years. He was counting the Geula from Mitzrayim, the Yitzias Mitzrayim he was counting. Here, take a look at this. Gewaldige stuff. It's all good stuff. First of all, if this is your first time in Daf Yomi, so we already learned what a shtar mocher is. I'm talking to these bacharim from Imre or whatever. So they know, no, seriously, they don't do the daf. So now they know what a shtar mocher is. So if they learn in yeshiva, they'll remember, oh, shtar mocher. They won't have trauma. Oh, shtar mukdam, shtar mocher. Also, we're learning a lot of stuff here. From the time that Klal Yisrael left Mitzrayim until the first Beis HaMikdash was how many years? Nobody knows this stuff. 480 years. By the way, how long did the first Beis HaMikdash last for? 410? 420. I have a machlokes here. How much did the second Beis HaMikdash last for? So the way you do it is, it's kosis revisahid. Kosis is chaf, taf is 420. Yutaf is 410, but it's the reverse. It's not such a great simon. The first, let's see. 410. Sorry, guys. 410 is the first base of English. Kosis, the end part of this mashal. For me, these mashalim, because until I remember the word, I can already remember how many years it is. Anyways, the first base of English lasted for 410. The Churban lasted for how many years? 70. There's no base Hamikdash between the first and the second. And then the second base Hamikdash lasted for 420. For a total of 1380. Now, the Malchus Yavam, we all said, that's what we discussed in the beginning of this year. From the beginning of the Greeks till the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash was 380. So 380 minus 1380 equals 0, perfect 1,000. So, the Gemara is saying some people count from the day that Klal Yisrael left Mitzrayim until the beginning of the Greek era. It's exactly 1,000 years. So some people start from that, and they start counting from the beginning of the Greek era, and they start counting 1, 2. They're not counting the Greek era. Some people count from the Greeks, when the Greeks started. But if, let's say, you're Jewish and you're Machmir, so I'm not going to count the Greeks. I'm actually going to use the same exact 2025. I'm going to write on my check 2025. I'm not going to go with Yashka and this and that. I'm going to go with, I have my own little way of doing it. I have Mitzrayim's way. It's Yitzias Mitzrayim. It's mamish, it lines up with the Greeks. It's one for one. Every year of the Greek, from the Greek era is actually 1 year from Yitzias Mitzrayim, just without it's another 1,000 years behind. But we don't care about the 1,000, so instead of 2025, it's 3025. But we care about the two last digits, 25. Great. Who told you that he's counting with the Greek minion? Maybe he's counting with the Mitzrayim. And then what do you lose? You lose the Greeks. They didn't rule in Elam for 6 years. This guy's counting it. He's not counting. No, maybe he's going with Mitzrayim, and there are no 6 years to play with, and therefore he messed up. He wrote the wrong type of star. Today is year 500, not 50. It's 506, and he wrote 500. I'm sorry, it's 500, and he wrote 506. And he's going with Mitzrayim, so he doesn't have those 6 years to play with, and therefore it's a shtar me'uchar. It's a shtar me'uchar. If you sell your real estate, the malva, the lender, can't take it. So he says like this: Dilma Yitzis Mitzrayim, maybe he's counting Yitzis Mitzrayim years of Shafkila Alpha Kama V'Nakti Alpha Basra, and he just not counting the thousands. And this is a real shtar me'uchar. I'll tell you why that doesn't work. Everybody uses the Greek numbers. Nobody's using the Mitzrayim number. Right? Today also. Nobody can come and say, oh, maybe he's counting the Arab way. No, everybody either counts 2025 or Tafshin Pei Hey, but nobody's counting the Arab dates. It's not even a Shiloh. Okay. He thought maybe he's just giving him a simple answer. He's just trying to push him off. He actually found it. It says Mefurish in the Brayso that in Golos you only use the Greek counting. Omer Avina. I could prove it from our Mishnah. This nan. I'm just trying to rush these stories. It's going to get geschmack soon. The first day of Nisan is Rosh Hashanah for kings. Villa Regalim and for holidays. So listen to this. You got to just remember this. What does it mean to the kings? Rosh Chodesh Nisan is for kings. When does the year change for all documents? Rosh Chodesh Nisan. So just remember that. Nisan, Rosh Chodesh Nisan is for documents. So if I tell you in a second that Tishrei, Rosh Chodesh Tishrei is for documents, we got a little problem. It's a contradiction. It says in the Mishnah that the first day of Rosh Hashanah is in Tishrei is Rosh Hashanah for the years and for Shemitah. That's where Shemitah starts, and for years. What does it mean? Rosh Hashanah, the first day of Tishrei, which is Rosh Hashanah, is for the years. The same Rav Chisda from before, he says the shtaris. On one place he says Rosh Chodesh Nisan is for documents, and then he says over here Rosh Chodesh Tishrei is for documents. Kashi Shtaris Hadad, we have a contradiction. And we answer. Oh, let me ask you, Rabbi Isai, if I ask you a question. Jewish kings, where did they start from? Rosh Chodesh Tishrei or Rosh Chodesh Nisan? What do you guys say?
Nisan.
What? Why Nisan? How come when I asked in the Hebrew share, everybody said Rosh Chodesh Tishrei? Either they're smarter than you or dumber than you. Wow. Okay, says the Gemara, Umeshanina Kalam Malchi Yisrael. The Klal Yisrael uses Rish Chodesh Nisan for the stars, like you guys said. Kan Lamalchi of the Gechavim and the Goyim, they use Rish Chodesh Tishrei for their documents. Lamalchi of the Gechavim and Tishrei Meninan, Lamalchi Yisrael Menisa Meninan. Vanan Hashtem Tishrei Meninan. And we are counting from Tishrei. V'yisok Adar Litzias Mitzrayim Meninan. Menisa Meninan Lemimnei. Yitzias Mitzrayim starts from, this is a Mefurish Gemara, but anyways, Yitzias Mitzrayim starts from Nisan. The fact that we start from Rosh Chodesh Tishrei is proof that we're talking about the Greeks. Nobody ever counted from, we're not supposed to count from Mitzrayim, you're supposed to count from the Greeks. Shema Mino, that's the end of that sugya. V'yoim Genusa Shel Malachim. Guys, whoever's talking to himself here and reading with me, I hear it. My v'yom Genusa Shel Malachim, Omer Rabbi Yehuda, Yom Shemamidim Bois HaMelech. I'm very sensitive to sound, so I'm going to tell you this. If you have a juk in your head and you read with the Valkyrie on Shabbos, please stop. It bothers me, and I know there's some guys in the show it bothers them too. They hear you even more than the Valkyrie, and if you do it next to the Valkyrie, forget about it. The Valkyries are always nice, they don't do anything, but you're like reading loud in his ear. Come on. Huh? This is a problem. But there's also you might as well take a piece of chalk and go on the V'yom Genusa Shel Malachim. Mai v'yom Genusa Shel Malachim. What's this Yom Genusa? Genusa means the day that the king comes he starts his kingdom. We can't say that, but Tanya Yom Genusa. We just said Genusa means the first day of a kingdom. And it says Yom Genusa v'yom shemaidim b'is hamelech, and the day that they put the king up there. So it can't be that Yom Genusa means the day that the kingdom started, because it says Yom Genusa v'yom shemaidim b'is hamelech. Like Kashya, Hadidei, Hadibrei. Genusa means the day that the king himself became a king, but Yom Shemamida Beis HaMelech is referring to the day that his son becomes a king. These are all holidays by the Goyim that you cannot do business with a Goy because they'll give praise to the Avodah Zarah. Ask the Gemara, what are you talking about? In the Romans, they don't let their children become kings. They don't have a king and then a son of a king. I'm going to take you Romans, you Esav, I'm going to make you small by the Goyim. That what? You're not going to be like the rest of the nations. You guys are never going to have a son that becomes a king. You, Esav, you become very, very despised. Why? You don't have your own language. You took it from other people, from Latin, I don't know what. It's not your own language. So then now we're forced to say Yom Genusa does not mean that the son became a king. It means Yom Aleida. Here. Where's that picture? This one right over here. And that's the Avodah Zarah. Okay, fine. I should have brought that Avodah Zarah. I have it in my office. Elamai Yom Genusa, Yom Aleida. That's the Gemara. That also can't be. Same question I asked you before. But Tanya Yom Genusa Yom Aleida. Your birthday cannot be Genusa because it says in the same line, the day of Genusa and the day of your birthday. So, in other words, your birthday is not Genusa. Like Ashya, we tried the same answer. Hadi day. Genusa means the king's birthday. Hadibrei, Yom Aleida means the son's birthday. But it can't be either because it says Yom Genusa Shaloi, Yom Genusa Shabunai. There's two Genusas, one him and one his son. V'yom Aleida, there's two birthdays. Yom Aleida Shaloi, V'yom Aleida Shabunai. Elamai Yom Genusa, we're going back to the original pshat. But we had a question, right? So what's the original pshat? Yom Genusa means Yom Shemim HaMelech, the day that the king started, his first day. One is talking about Genusa is the king, Yom HaMelech is the son. But you said that Edom never had a father and a son that were kings. Yes. If they ask, all the people in the government, whatever they are, they do a little bit of a vote. If they vote the son in, he'll become a king. Rabbi Here it goes. Here's the story time. We see this by the son of Antoninus. His name was Asvirus, and he ruled. Even though his father was an Esav king, there was a father-son. So who is Antoninus? You know, we see throughout Shas, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, the author of the Mishnah, had a very good friend. His name was Antoninus. He was the Caesar, the king, the Caesar. And did I show you guys the Taisus, that Caesarian? I didn't show the Taisus? The Taisus here that says that the word Caesar comes from that there was one Caesar's king, that his mother died, and they cut her stomach open, and they pulled him out, and he became the king. So that's where the word Caesarian comes from. It's also in, so all the Caesar kings, they were called Caesars. I call upon him. This Antoninus was very friendly with Rebbe, as the Gemara is going to describe here. They were both extremely wealthy. And it seems like Antoninus became a ger, he got a bris milah, etc. So let's see. Omer Antoninus and Rebbe. So Antoninus tells Rebbe obviously was a genius, and he was a big chacham, and Antoninus would ask him his questions, his problems, help him out. This exact Gemara that we just discussed, that a Esav king never has a son that's a king. He says, I would like my son to be the king. But this is Abit Tveria Klanya. I want the city of Tveria to be tax-free, because there's a lot of Talmidei Chachamim there. I don't want them to pay taxes. The problem is, no, so do it. You're the king. If I ask my Senate, the people, they'll vote for one thing. They won't give me two things. Oh, let's go. Where are you guys from Miriam? Come. We're the two guys. Let's go. You ready? Get over here. Get over here. Help them out. Maybe give them a cheer or something. Oh. Guys ready? You guys?
Preparing all Shabbos for this.
I didn't tell you about it, but hold on, I need something here.
Here on Shabbos or after Shabbos, I really want you to do. I see you on Shabbos. Help with the brother out.
Here's my thing.
You got it.
Hold on. Where's it? Oh, here it is. Okay. You ready? This is the bird. Shalom Aleichem. It says like this. I see Gavra, Arkeva Chavrei. See, you know, I'll say about Peh, so you guys don't have to get the bird off. Okay, fine. Ibray boys here. What's your names, by the way? Shalom Aleichem. What's your name?
Edelstein.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Zach Grunfeld.
Nice to meet you too. They were in my house the whole Shabbos. Good boys, great boys.
Amazing.
Yeah. So what he said is like this. We'll see from the Gemara. There's no talking. You couldn't talk, as the Gemara is going to say, because if you speak, people are going to find out about it. Whether your neshama tells the other neshama, whether people hear it, don't hear it. It's all with hints. So he said like this. Put one guy on top of the other guy. This is the king right over here, and this is the son. See, he's riding on top of his father. And he said, what the idea is, he tells him, once he becomes the king, then the father could tell the son, you could do it before or after, he says, listen, as a king, you're going to ask for one thing. You're going to ask to release Tveria from taxes. How? You're going to take this bird, you're going to throw it to Lavi.
Oh.
Lazi. It's like the Bulls game. You try to catch the jersey in the middle.
It's like AF to I team. He keeps throwing this out.
Anyways, you're good?
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting. No,
He's like AF I team.
he's a quarterback. He's not a receiver.
Okay, it's been a while.
All right, you could release him now, or you could spend the whole share here, whatever you want.
Challenge? Maybe throw me to
You ready?
Challenge?
If you pass me the ball. Maybe throw me to a bit. Intercepted, huh?
All right, so let's see inside. Oh yeah, very good, awesome. So, by the way, guys, seriously, You guys can walk back to your seat, but I think you guys are leaving tomorrow? Monday. What's your learning plan for the summer? Not existing. So you might join Daf Yomi. I'm telling you, it's kedai for you. Just try for Ben Azmanim for the summer. It'll give you something to do every single day. Learn 1 hour a day.
I'll make a deal with you. We FaceTime. The whole share.
It's on Zoom. The whole show is on Zoom. You can look at this.
Ellie, that's my uncle.
That's your uncle? Yeah. He doesn't want, no, okay. Don't turn him off now from Yiddishkeit. Stop it. Okay. He gave him a bird, he gave him a pigeon. Rebbe showed this to him. Rebbe didn't tell this to him. Rebbe brought a guy in and they were on the shoulder. He tells the bottom one, tell the top one, let the pigeon go loose. I learned in Yeshiva K'tana in Panovich. I learned by Rav Michal Yudah Lefkovich, and the other shiur was Rav Shteiman. And one time the lights went off. I didn't see the story. I read the stories in Rav Shteiman's book. The electric went out. So the kids, this part I saw that the guys he once tested us. Rav Michal Yudah would test his shiur and he would test our shiur. So we went into his room, and the guys were getting a little antsy. So they started like in the Bnei Brak shiur. Remember, the Bnei Brakers, they went like this. They started going with their feet. And it was very annoying. And all of a sudden he goes, Yesh raglayim ladavar. That's what okay, fine. And they all laughed and this and that. Great. So the lights go out, it's dark, and everybody's like running around, throwing things. One guy decided to jump on his friend and take him for a shoulder ride. Yes, he's riding around with his friend. Then the lights go on and he sees that the friend is Rav Shteiman himself. And it says in the book that Rav Shteiman says, wow, I finally got to be with the guys. I don't believe the story. I mean, Rav Shteiman was like a little, if you sat on his shoulder, you probably fell over. Okay. Not one of these Imre, worker-outer guys. I used to get argument. Fine, we just said this already. Omar, so Antonino says, Shema mino achi karmeli. This is probably what he's trying to refer. Ad boy minayu das spheres briyim lichtach choisi. He's not no dummy, Antoninos. He says, what Rebbe is trying to tell me is, let your son be the king first. And you tell your son what you want, that you want Tver to be free of taxes. Another story. He tells Rebbe, the Romans, they're going after me. Literally like we have today with Trump, the Bibi, they're trying to get the top guys. They're harassing me. So Rebbe takes him into his garden. Brings him to the garden. Every day he plucks out one radish, only one. Omar, this is what he's trying to hint to me. You kill one by one. Don't kill all of them. Like Stalin, like Putin. One here, one there. You get rid of them. But like this is but don't do it to all of them. Okay. Daf Yomi Beis. Turn to the Daf, sponsored by Dar Global Experts International Financial Services in honor of Kid Innovations. You know their names, on the way to finishing Shas. Anonymous says, "Zchus v'atzlacha in Ruchnis and Gashmias, and for the smooth, healthy labor and birth. Amen." Givat Shalva, a Torah true community in Givat Ze'ev. Zok the Gemara. I don't know who put that in there. I don't know if it's according to our guidelines. We have to talk about this. Then you make a bracha. Boruch atah. Boy said the Israelis are coming in 15 minutes. We have to move over here. Why couldn't Rebbe just tell Antoninus they were in his garden? Say, listen, don't kill them all, just one by one. Why do you have to put a guy on a shoulder, the whole thing? Omar, if they find out about it, they're going to torture me now. So whisper it, nobody will hear. Rabbi said today, we could definitely understand that if you talk about, let's say, deodorant or whatever it is, all of a sudden you look at your phone, and there's an advertiser for they're always listening, right? You don't know. Listen, they might be watching you on the camera. But Rashi in Koheles, I found this today in Koheles, in this pasuk, by the way, this is the pasuk, if you want to see the pasuk. Rashi says, very interesting, because you're thinking, okay, who's going to hear? I'm looking around, there's nobody within 100 feet. So I'll whisper it to him. No. The neshama, his neshama might tell to somebody else. You don't say it. If you say it with your mouth, somebody might find out. There's a way to do it. You do a little thing, you do a remez, a hint. That neshamas can't tell one another. Says the Gemara story, he had a daughter, Antoninus, her name was Gira. She was mizana, she did it isser. Shadalei gargira. Now, you have to be a genius. Rebbe receives a gift from the Caesar. It's a type of vegetable. It's called gargira. Rebbe realized, he has a daughter named Gira. So what's this gargira? Gar means that it was dragged away. Gira dragged herself away. She did something bad. Shodalei kuzbarta. So he sends back another vegetable. How did they call it in English? Coriander. It's in every food. Every food you don't like has kuzbarta. That's why. You know those salads, you eat the salad. What's that weird taste? Cilantro, yeah, exactly. Cilantro. Shodalei. So kuzbarta means, according to Rashi, killer. Kois Barta means a daughter. Kois Barta, kill the daughter. Shodalei Karti. So he sends him back. Leak. Here, this. Oh yeah, I did. Here, this is Kuzbarta, and he sent him back. Leak. Like the Simanim and Rosh Hashanah. Yeah, he eats this. He sends that. Karti means we eat karti. Why? To destroy the enemies. So he says, if you're gonna, I don't have any other children. What happened to Isvirus? Either he died or he wasn't born yet. But she's my only one. Shalach le chasa. So he sends him lettuce. Chasa means have rachmanas on her. So Taisus says over here, what's going on here? What was Rebbe thinking? He's telling the king, kill your daughter? Yeah, right. She did a shtickle avera, and then the king's going to listen to you. Kill her. So he says, and then Rebbe says, okay, don't kill her. Kill her. Okay, don't kill her. So he says, the pshat is that he was telling him, keep it quiet. But the Caesar thought like Rashi, says Taisus. Caesar thought the pshat is that, why is he telling me to kill her? No. You see from here, it's not good to do hints. Hints, you go from, don't tell anybody, to all of a sudden, you chopped her head off. Why you chop her head off? I told you Kuzbarta, I sent you that. I learned wrong pshat in Kuzbarta. I learned it like Rashi. I chopped her head off. What do I do now? Okay, it's not such a great idea. Okay, that was fine. Shadalei Karti. At the end of the day, he had Rahmanas on her, he let her live. It says the Gemara, Kol Yoyma have a Shadalei, to have a pricha, you'd send him a little sack full of gold, matrasa in a sack of leather, and cover it with wheat, so that the messenger shouldn't know that he's carrying gold, whatever, a few coins over there. Bring this to Rebbe, bring this wheat to Rebbe. Rebbe says, I don't need your gold. What do I need gold for? I have plenty. Isli tuva, I have a lot. Omar, I'll tell you why. Give it. I need it for your children. The Avodah Basroch, you're going to have grandchildren. The ones that come from you, in other words, your children, and the ones that come from your children, your grandchildren, what he's saying is that in a future generation, my children are going to come to your children and demand a lot of money. So here, I'm giving you the money up front. You'll have what to give them back. I don't want you to have the money. Instead of them stealing from you, I'm going to give you the money now. And in the future generation, they'll come take the money. This is the money you'll give them back. Says Gemara, a crazy story. A lot of people know this story. He had a tunnel that went from his palace, from the Caesar's palace, all the way to the Rebbe's house. Every day he would bring two slaves. Here's the depiction. Oops, Sorry. Here's the tunnel from the palace to his house. And they go, according to one shot, they went all three of them to Rebbe's house. Then he took one and gave him a shiluchin, killed him. And then on the way back, he killed the second one. Boom. The only problem I have with this story is, like, what do they do with the bodies? Like, every day there's bodies there. Okay? There's a big tunnel. Some people say that, look, he was a ben Noach, how could he kill him? So they say, well, these guys were Chayiv Misa. Others say he killed him with a Shem. He knew a certain Taisus. So if he killed him with a Shem, maybe he could bury him with a Shem. Some say pshat that he put one slave at his palace door so nobody should come in. And he only walked with one slave to make sure that nobody's in the tunnel. Once he got to Rebbe's house, now the tunnel is secure. So he killed him. Then he walked all the way back to the entrance to his palace. Then he killed the second guy. Okay, every day this is what he did. Why would he go to Rebbe's house? Says Rashi, to learn Torah. He tells Rebbe, listen, do me a favor. When I come to learn Torah with you, it's only me and you. I don't want anybody in your house. Make sure nobody's here. One day he sees Rebbe Chanina in Rebbe's house. I don't understand. I told you, I don't want anybody here. This guy is not a human being. He's a malach. The famous story of the Maril Diskin, there was a guy that was a terrible person. He wasn't a good Balmidas. Bad guy. But he used to daven long Shemon Esrei. So people told him Maril Diskin, but Lamaisa, this guy's a malach. He's a malach. So Maril Diskin says, a malach, I'm not sure. But one thing I know, he's definitely not a mensch. Not a human being. Less Dain Bar Inish, he's not a human being. So the king tells this malach, this Reb Chanina, oh, he's a malach, let me test you. Let me see what you can do as a malach. He says, go, I have a servant. He's by the entrance to the house over here. Go call him. Now, the king knows the servant is dead. He wants to see what he's going to do. He sees a dead man. Omar, now he has a problem. What should I do? If I go back, tell the king, and Rabbi said we can learn a big yisod from here. Today it's geschmack. You know, you go on WhatsApp. You know, you heard 3 people died. It's geschmack. It's a big accident. Oh. We see from a few times. We saw in Megillah also. Vayomer la'asach. Everything's throughout. It's not a good idea to tell people about bad news. You don't tell people bad news. Hey, king, your slave is dead. Let him figure it out himself. If I just leave, you're not allowed to, treat the kingdom with what's the word? How do you say zilzul? Disrespect. You can't disrespect the king. Boi rachame alei. So he asked, he davened HaKadosh Baruch Hu v'achyei, and he did Chiyas HaMeisim. There's an interesting Tosfos here. It's a story within a story, so I think it's important to see this Tosfos. So Tosfos says like this: Amir b'medrash, cholav metama, cholav metar. The milk can make you tummy, can make you tar. The what? They made the Gzera, the Romans, the famous Gzera, no bris milah. And his father and mother, they didn't listen, they did a milah. Shalach Kesar, the Caesar found out about. And they brought Rebbe and the mother. So Tais is telling us, where did this relationship start from? His mother grabbed Antoninus. She fed Antoninus the baby. And then she brought Antoninus the baby to the Caesar. Meanwhile, I guess, they gave Rebbe to the mother. So they open up the diaper, they see, wait a minute, it doesn't even have bris milah. Upatrim l'shalom, they said, okay, go. Nothing happened, there's no bris milah. So the guy that snitched on Rebbe and his mother, he says, I saw that there's a bris milah. Ella, he explains to Caesar, Ella Kosh Baruch Hu Oisin Lam Nisim. Must be the Refuah Sheleimah does a lot of Nisim for Klal Yisrael. B'chol Eis ubatlo Agzeira. So the Caesar said, oh, he saw there was a bris milah, there was an Eis. You know what? Forget it. And from that moment on, there was no more Gzeira, no milah for the people. He says Taisvus at the end. Oh, so what does it mean? The milk makes you tar? Says Taisvus, because Rebbe's mother nursed Antoninos, so he was Zaycha to later learn Torah from Rebbe, become a ger, and have a bris milah. This whole story, full circle. He didn't have a milah then, and he saved Rebbe, but at the end he did have a milah. And somebody sent me a pshat that maybe the milk is matama in the same story, that Rebbe in a certain way had a certain chutzpah, the whatever, he got a certain thing of that helped him in life, a certain chutzpah that he needed in a certain place. I don't remember what. Okay. So Gemara. Oh, so he tells the slave, and he sends the slave to talk to Antoninos. Now, just picture this. You're dead. Somebody, I don't know what happened. If he stabbed him, he has blood coming out of his heart. So maybe he choked him out. Chokes him out, wakes up. Oh! So he was probably just taking a nap. He doesn't remember that somebody choked him out. Gets up, okay. He was dead, now he's not dead, and he walks in. It's an interesting thing. He walks into Antoninos. Says, Omar, oh, now I see, says Antoninos, even the smallest of you, like your Chanina, could do Tchias HaMesim. Nevertheless, I'm not impressed. Next time I come, I don't want to hear any stories from you that he's a malach, he's a this. No one. I said, no one is no one. I don't care if he's B'chaim Mesim, not B'chaim Mesim. It's great stories, all is good. I don't want anybody here. Says Gemara, Kol Yom Havim Shamash LeRebbe. Every single day, he served Rebbe. Machale, he gave him food. Mashkale, he gave him drink. Have a boy Rebbe L'Meisik L'Puria. And Rebbe wanted to go onto his bed. Have a Gochen Kamei Puria. We have a picture. First of all, I just want to show you behind the scenes. AI wasn't doing the job, so Yoshi drew this by hand, and then he inserted into AI, and then this is what came out. Again. The what? What did he say? First you have to know how to draw a little bit. A lot of it. Look at that light. I'm just like little things here. Look at that, the lamp on the wall. Then you go back to this one. The lamp on the wall is there. It's the mamish. With the movement and everything. Unbelievable. Okay. So the king gets that on the floor. Oh! Lamaisa, we have a different one here. Hold on, let me show you. I should show you this one. Dave is sitting over here. Dave, raise your hand. Here's Dave. Every time she wanted to get on a bed, Gochin v'Solikla. He bowed down on all four. Rabbi said, we're going to show you exactly how it looks. Here, come, Dave. I found a carbon. Gochin v'Solikla. The Choleimas that have a nochis. And every time she got off, come, sit right here on this table. I got a psak halacha, you're allowed on this table. Here, Chaim, back it up. Let me just show you what it might look like. I have no idea what's going to happen here. This is going to be bad. It's not good, no? Well, you know I weigh 210. Wrong size. Oh, you're dead, but it's not. Here, go. Stand up. What does it? Go in the lunch. Wow. I need you to go down a little bit. I need to get back.
That'll make you crazy. Do it again. We don't have time because the Israelis are coming in 1 minute. Who wants to volunteer? Gochem Melachish. Me? I should do Gochem Melachish? No. Yes, he still has to do a Hebrew shir. Yeah, let's go. You saw already how it looks. Next. One demonstration per shir is enough. We did the okay. Next cycle, we're not doing any demonstrations. There's going to be videos of the previous cycle demonstrations. Oh,
Omar, what are you doing? This is embarrassing. That you don't. What do you call it? Disgrace. What do you call it? Disrespect the king. Omar, I wish I could be a floor mat for you in Olam Haba, says the king to Rebbe. Omar lei, and then he tells Rebbe, Asino la'al madasi. Do I get Olam Haba? Omar lei, you're going to be in Olam Haba. Omar lei, he's no fool. He knows the Torah. This king, this non-Jewish king. There's not going to be any left over. Nobody's going to be spared from Beis Esav. In other words, in Olam Haba. So he tells him, no, you didn't understand the pasuk. If you act like an Esav Nick, you kill people, you do other terrible things, then you won't. But you're a good guy. You'll have Olam Haba. Maybe it means all of the Beis Esav. Only somebody that acts like an Esav Nick. In Gehenna are all the kings, Edom, Melacheh, the Chol, all the rulers, the kings. Not all of them. Kol Nisiyah, Kol Sarel. We say the same thing. It's not all the kings. Some kings go to Gan Eden. Kol Nisiyah, Kol Sarel. Melacheh, maybe Trump. Chasidu Esav, even if maybe it's from Esav into Gan Eden. Melacheh, Kol Melacheh. Pradel Antoninos ben Asfiros. Antoninos ben Asfiros. I guess that was the grandfather of Asfiros. Yeah? Well, you don't know if he's alive or not. Call Nisiyah like call Sorel. Prad the K'tir bar Shalom. Now we go into the story of K'tir bar Shalom. Says the Gemara the story. K'tir bar Shalom might have it. What was the story? There was a Caesar, one of the Caesars, not this one. He hated Jews. He made a little bit of a. He called in all his top guys, and he asked them a question. Somebody has a cancer in his foot. Should he chop it off and live, have a little surgery? Or should he let it go and get worse? In other words, he's referring to the Jews. I have these Jews, they're like a cancer. Should I get rid of them? Yeah, chop them out, get rid of them, kill them all. So this guy K'tir B'Shalom jumps up and says, wait a minute, stop. You're never going to be able to kill all of them. It says in the pasuk, what does it mean, the pasuk? My call, Mary gives him a whole shtickle Torah. It means that Klal Yisrael is all over the world, spread out, literally. So it should say, like, Ke'ar Baruchos. Sorry, why does it say Ke'ar Baruchos? They are sent to the four corners of the world. It just means they're like the wind. Not they are in all different places. They're like the wind. Just like the world cannot can sustain itself without wind, the world needs Jews. Void. And if you kill them, they'll call you the chopped up. Look at this. His name is K'tiyah. He used the words of K'tiyah, and the Gemara finishes off with K'tiyah. Very interesting. So the king tells him, you're saying unbelievable. I love what you're saying. Checkmate. Miu. Called the Zachi Malka. If you beat the king, you do a checkmate to the king. Two pshatim. They throw you into the furnace, they'll throw you into the ground, whatever it is, they throw you into some barrel. You beat me, you embarrass me in front of everybody. No, so what did he want? So why are you asking a question? So some say he wasn't even invited to answer. He wasn't one of his friends. Others say he didn't say it in a nice way. Okay. Says the Gemara, the story, when they were walking with him to kill him, one of these noble women, she screams out to him, this ship is going on a journey without paying the taxes. In other words, explains Rashi, you stuck up for the Jews. And guess what? Even if you go to Gan Eden, you're not going to be with the Jews. Why? You don't have a bris milah. Make sure you have a bris milah so you can sit with the Jews. What did he do? Rabbi said, I just thought about it. Who gave himself a bris milah? Think about giving yourself a bris milah. Ever gave himself a bris milah? Avraham Avinu. It's a painful thing to think about. This K'tiyah Bar Shalom. We had something similar. Yeah, we did. But yeah, Shmak, you're not invited again this year. So this individual gives himself a bris milah. Nafal Aresha Derula say, Kata, here. Again, his name is Katia. Kata, the Gemara uses, again, that word. He did something, I don't know exactly how, I'm not exactly sure, but he was able to give himself a bris milah. Omar, and then he screams out, Yahavis michsei, I paid my taxes. I gave a bris milah. Chalfes va'avaris, let me transfer from this world straight into Olam Haba. Ki kashadalei, they threw him into the furnace or whatever it was. Omar, kol nichsoy leRebbe Akiva v'chaveiro. Not only did he give himself a bris milah, but he took all his belongings and he gave it to Rebbe Akiva. Rebbe Akiva is extremely wealthy. There's another time that Rebbe Akiva found a treasure, a whole story, but this is one of the reasons why Rebbe Akiva is wealthy. Besides that, his father-in-law was the wealthiest guy in Yerushalayim. Okay. Yotzer Rebbe Akiva v'darash. And this is the famous Gemara. We have it a number of times, and this is the Makar. Here, this is the Shulchan. It says that the leftover bread goes to Aaron and his sons. So you could say, hey, divide it equally. If there's 9 sons, or however many sons Aaron had, 3, divide it equally. No, Aaron, he gets 50%, the sons get 50%. Rashi says he really only gets 4, 5, but he gets a larger amount. Why? Because the Torah calls him by his name, Aaron, and the sons. Aaron is 50%, sons 50%. Says Rebbe Akiva, because Bar Katia said to Rebbe Akiva and his friends, Rebbe Akiva gets 50%, friends get 50%. We're not going to divide everything equal. Tells you somewhere else explains that anytime the Gemara says Mizuman, you are invited to Chaylam Haba. It should say Yesh Lechelik Lam Haba. Mizuman means go straight to go. What is it? Without stopping. Go to. What is it?
Don't get
Go to jail, don't pass go.
Like $200.
Do not collect. Okay, so that's not a good one. This is, go directly to Gan Eden. You're not going to even see Gehenna. Yeah. You get the black car that comes, picks you up, the whole thing. Now, this is the famous Gemara, and we actually have this Gemara 3 times in this Masechta. Bacha Rebbe started crying. V'amar, Yesh koina olamoi b'shoah achas. This Bar Katia got the entire Olam Haba, everything, in one moment. B'shkoina olamoi b'kama shanim, and takes other people a bunch of years. So what's Rebbe crying about? One shot I saw, a beautiful shot that I like a lot. Rebbe says, not that he was jealous that he acquired Olam Haba in 1 second and then takes other people dozens of years. The opposite. If this Bar Katia could be Zoichel Olam Haba, everybody, by the way, everybody has a time in their life, an opportunity where all of a sudden something comes up and you can make a huge difference in somebody else's life, in your own life, and you take that opportunity, it changes your whole life. Some people were at the right place at the right time. Story with Rebbe Elyashiv. Imagine a guy, Ma'aser Shahaya, he saw Rebbe Elyashiv on the floor unconscious, and he did CPR, and he revived Rebbe Elyashiv. Rebbe Elyashiv was alive for another 10 years after that. And somebody wanted to buy it for millions of dollars. That's chus. But the point is, you don't know. You're in the right place, the right time. Somebody offers you something, boom, you do it. So it says like this: if you could get Olam Haba in 5 minutes, all you have to do is a bris. Not all, but you did a bris and you gave all your money to Rebbe Akiva. Imagine a guy, what he could accomplish in 40, 50 years. He has those 5 minutes, thousands of times. Chaval to waste it. And you know what I say? 1 hour a day you do the daf. Have a good Voch.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.